So, we hear from so many women who have pain on a regular basis, and they're often told that it's just something they have to live with or a factor of getting older, and that's something we tend to disagree with. Oftentimes, they want to lose weight, but they can't exercise due to the pain, or even just get to the grocery store or stand up and cook something is a challenge due to the pain. Or they want to be able to travel, but movement and exploring is a challenge. Or just we hear they want to keep up with the grandkids and it's just too hard with the pain and it's really affecting their quality of life. So, pain, whether it's from an injury or an illness such as arthritis, mostly stems from inflammation. And inflammation is such a concern as we get older as it affects our tissues, our organs, our joints, and it's really at the root of so many chronic diseases. And of course, more inflammation is going to make a condition like arthritis, including osteo, rheumatoid, and psoriatic arthritis, worse. But on the flip side, we have concerns about taking Tylenol and NSAIDs like ibuprofen and Aleve long term. And we understand why they're being used so widely because they can be very effective, but using them long term has been linked to ulcers, kidney or liver problems, and also it's been found to have a negative effect on our good gut bugs, our microbiome. So we don't want that because our microbiome is just so important, and these good gut bugs play such an important role in our overall health, including dampening inflammation. So we don't want to be messing around with these. But the bottom line is that when it comes to pain, it's vital to look at inflammation and ways to lower it. And anytime you can do it in a natural way, it's going to be better in the long run. And of course, if weight is an issue, putting that extra stress on your joints is going to eventually lead to more pain in the knees or ankles or hips if you don't have it already. But the good news is many of the recommendations that we're going to cover today will also help manage weight. So it's going to be a double thumbs up day. If you're looking for more wellness and weight loss advice for women over 50, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell to be notified when we post a new video.
So there have been hundreds, if not thousands, of research studies sharing the amazing benefits of a whole foods diet on reducing inflammation and joint pain in the body. And so the first step that we want to talk about is how do we go about doing this? Number one is going to be ditch the sugar and processed foods. So first, we're going to talk a little bit about what to remove from your diet to achieve the best results, but we promise to get to the part about what to include shortly. Now, the truth is that the choices you make at the grocery store are going to have a huge impact on inflammation, which can occur almost anywhere in the body, including your joints. So scientists are still sort of unraveling exactly how food affects the body's inflammatory process, but they do know a few things. So foods that have an inflammatory effect come from obvious things like sugary sources, candy bars, cookies, donuts, refined carbohydrates like bagels, sandwich bread, rolls, wraps, crackers, pasta, pretzels, things like chips and a lot of breakfast cereals. Also, processed foods are going to include things like a lot of frozen dinners, most lunch meats, fried foods like fried chicken and onion rings and French fries. And what research is showing is that these sugary and processed foods activate something called the innate immune system, most likely by an excessive production of pro-inflammatory compounds called cytokines. So a common blood marker you may have come across is something called C-reactive protein, or CRP, which some physicians do to check for levels of inflammation in the body. Another thing about sugar is that sugary foods also cause high levels of blood sugar, obviously, and blood sugar has a direct effect on inflammatory markers in the body. To make matters worse, processed foods often contain a lot of chemicals, such as food dyes and preservatives and artificial sweeteners that can actually be toxic to your system and cause inflammation. So number one is really to just get out the sugar and processed foods or limit them as much as possible, and you can really see good results from that.
All right, next up is to consider removing gluten from your diet. So personally, I started a gluten-free diet journey about 25 years ago when I was told that it was contributing to my irritable bowel symptoms. And after I removed it, I noticed not only did my digestive issues get better, but I noticed I had more energy and clear mental thinking. Now, fast forward to today, we have worked with so many women who have noticed marked improvements in pain just from removing gluten from their diet. And when it comes to gluten, there is celiac disease, which is an autoimmune disease that damages the small intestine. It often doesn't get diagnosed so quickly because it doesn't really show up always as digestive issues. Sometimes it can show up as pain or migraines or skin issues. However, even if it isn't celiac, there is something called non-celiac gluten sensitivity, which can still trigger inflammation. So even if you've been tested for celiac and it was negative, don't assume that gluten is not an issue for you. And we've seen this so many times from our clients when they remove gluten that their pain levels improve, often along with several other things, as I was just mentioning. So if you have chronic pain and have been dealing with it for a while, it's worth doing a trial removing the gluten. And we would suggest being strict with it for 3 weeks to a month at least, although many of our clients have seen a difference in as soon as a week. And listen, it isn't nearly as difficult to do as when I started 25 years ago. There was no internet and very few health food stores, but there's just so many more options out there and so many more resources. And all the recipes on our website are gluten-free, along with the recipes in our program, including those in our PM Meal Mastery program. So we highly suggest that if you've been dealing with chronic pain for a while, the pain of removing gluten will be a lot less, and it could be life-changing for you.
Eating the rainbow is our next strategy. We love this strategy because it includes things to bring into your diet and not something to exclude. And we can tell you this is probably the number one thing we look at when it comes to someone's food intake is how many fruits and vegetables they consume in a day. And this is because their benefits span your entire body from your brain to your heart to your bones and absolutely your joints. And fruits and vegetables deliver such an array of nutrients, so many anti-inflammatory plant chemicals. And what most people don't realize is that much of the goodness comes from the color of the fruit or vegetable. So when you're thinking about going to the supermarket, you're going to be looking for things like bright yellow and orange peppers, red beets, purple cabbage, all the shades of greens and vegetables such as cucumbers and kale and fennel and celery, orange mango, pomegranates, purple grapes. So all these things offer so much in the way of nutrient-dense vitamins and minerals and fiber and phytonutrients that dampen inflammation. So think about how many fruits and vegetables you actually get in a day. So we suggest tracking this. Just write down 2-3 days worth of a food journal. Where are your fruits and vegetables coming in? Are you getting them? Are you getting at least 7 or 8 servings? A serving is a half a cup of diced fruit or vegetable, or one medium piece of fruit, or 1 cup of leafy greens is also considered one serving. If it sounds overwhelming to get that many fruits and vegetables, start small. Just take the amount that you're getting in now, maybe it's 2, and just work on getting 1 extra. And then once you've got that down, then you can start adding another one. And we have lots of recipes and ways on our website to do this. We'll put a note in the link below to an article about food stretching that's really good and how we incorporate more vegetables into our everyday foods. So eat the rainbow to get anti-inflammatory effects.
All right, next up is incorporating healthy fats. Did you know that healthy fats can help with pain and inflammation? Foods like good quality olive oil, avocados, fatty fish, nuts, and seeds carry anti-inflammatory compounds. They also help reduce your risk of heart disease and arthritis by improving the integrity and flexibility of your cell walls to resist inflammation and plaque buildup. Healthy fats also help you absorb all your important fat-soluble vitamins, including A, D, E, and K. And we know that having adequate levels of vitamin D can help with inflammation too. So you want to make sure you're absorbing these vitamins. There's been lots of research on how omega-3 fats help ease inflammation. So get that in through the good fatty fish, or you can get it in through plant-based sources such as flax and chia. Olive oil as well has been researched to help with inflammation. Studies have found that oleic acid in olive oil reduces inflammation, and the antioxidant oleocanthal has been shown to work similarly to ibuprofen, Like, how cool is that? Just take a shot of olive oil or take a pill? So make sure you're getting those good healthy fats in to fight the inflammation.
Another amazing strategy is to spice up your foods. So many herbs and spices have been studied to reduce inflammation. We want to highlight two in particular because they've been researched so much, and that includes turmeric and ginger. So just to talk a little bit of science here, there's something called COX-2, which is an enzyme that speeds the production of chemical messengers called prostaglandins. And prostaglandins promote inflammation. So just FYI, when you take an NSAID, a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory like ibuprofen or aspirin or Aleve, you're blocking the production of these inflammatory prostaglandins, and that's why they work. Interestingly enough, turmeric and ginger both act as COX-2 inhibitors. Compounds in turmeric root, specifically curcumin and other compounds, and gingerol and ginger and other compounds in ginger, natural COX-2 inhibitors. So they have analgesic and muscle relaxing properties. They help improve blood circulation to the injured area, and that's going to help to relieve pain. So studies have shown reductions in pain as compared to conventional drugs. And though the issue is that for most cases, if it's pretty severe, you do have to use a therapeutic amount. Honestly, ginger is easier to get in the diet than turmeric. It just doesn't have as strong a taste. It's easier to eat on a regular basis, and I personally add it to so many things, daily smoothies and oats. But we will share in, again, the description below, a link to a couple of supplements that we use and that provide therapeutic amounts that we've seen have big impacts on our population.
Okay, and for our last tip today, it's actually not food related, but we have to mention the use of essential oils for pain, as it's really our first go-to if we have any kind of pain. So many people think of essential oils as something that, oh, I put in the diffuser and it smells great, which it does, for sure. But often people aren't aware that several essential oils contain analgesic or anti-pain, anti-inflammatory, and regenerative properties. For example, a constituent called beta-caryophyllene has all the properties that I just mentioned: anti-pain, anti-inflammatory, and regenerative. And it's found in some oils such as frankincense and copaiba. Peppermint and wintergreen have analgesic and anti-inflammatory properties, and an oil called Siberian fir has regenerative compounds. So when you apply them topically, they can help not only ease the discomfort, but actually support healing as well. So the oils we use are pure and go through lots of testing because it's really important to be careful about not only what you put in your body, but what you put on your skin as well. So we'll put more information to the essential oils that we like with some suggestions in a link below. So we hope you found this information helpful and can use some or all of these tips to help ease pain and help improve the quality of your life. If you haven't already done so, be sure to check out our simple yet effective nutrition plan for postmenopausal women called PM Meal Mastery. We put it together to help you boost your energy, maintain a healthy weight, and lower inflammation, and nourish your body from the inside out. And again, we'll put that in the link below. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified for future content so we know you want to hear more. And again, stay tuned for our next video on even more support on managing health and weight after 50.